kicked off with basketball games starting from late morning running all the way till the end of the night. This week, 1 week later, Major League Baseball opening day kicks off and nothing. No games start today until 3 p.m. Eastern Time. In fact, there's a whole glut of games that start at 4 p.m. Now, I might be a little bit bitter here because my Mets play at the same time as my son has a Little League game, so therefore I have to miss a basically almost the entire game due to the scheduling conflict. So take that for what you will, but I think this is a major marketing mishap by MLB. I think that they should be having games starting every hour or maybe even every half an hour throughout the entire day. So that way there are constantly new games going on while other games are going to be finishing throughout the day. It should be like the opening day of the NCAA basketball tournament. It should be like March Madness where we have games going nonstop. Instead, here we are at 11:15 knowing that there's not even going to be games starting for another 4 hours. And then even after that, there's kind of a weird break where there's a bunch of afternoon games and there's a couple of super late games. I think that the scheduling was really messed up. And this goes on the heels of what I think was actually very poor scheduling in general that we saw for spring training this year, where basically the Mets only played about 4 teams on a regular basis for a month straight. It was basically the Astros, the Nationals, the Marlins, the Cardinals. That was basically it. And I feel like I know those rosters up and down, and we barely played any other teams, even though there were a bunch more teams near us in Florida. And so I just think that, yes, these games are going to do well. People are going to be watching these games, but you could get a lot more viewership over a lot more games if you spread them out throughout the entire day, because there will be fans who are not available for the watching 4 o'clock games that would have tuned into baseball. Any baseball, even if you had a game going on at 11 or 12 or 1 or 2 in the afternoon. And so I just really think that this is it. Now, you got to tell me, maybe I'm just a curmudgeon old fan who likes to whine about things. Remember, I don't like the designated hitter, and I like the old 80s baseball style. So maybe that's all it is. Maybe this is just the way that things go in the modern days. It feels much more like how they do it at the end of the season, where they want every game to start at the same time, like at the end of the NFL football season, so you have some drama and stuff like that. But honestly, I just think that this is a scheduling mishap, especially when you've got a variety of kids who are on spring break around the country. Not our local district, but I know there's plenty of kids on spring break right now. You could have this opportunity where kids could be watching baseball all afternoon. And maybe it's that kid's first opportunity to fall in love with baseball, to see a baseball game. And I just don't really understand the scheduling strategy. So again, maybe I'm completely off. Maybe this is just purely selfish by me because I'm excited for the baseball season and I want to see baseball on all day. I just think afternoon baseball is one of the best things. I think it's what makes baseball baseball. And I understand why it maybe doesn't make economic sense every single day of the year to have lots of afternoon games. I understand why night games get better viewership. I understand, it's all about making money ultimately. But I think when it's your showcase, when it is your open day, you would be best served. And I think your audience would be best served by having a variety of games going on throughout a variety of times throughout the entire day. And so that's what I would like to see. I'd like to see if there's a way that we could possibly get this fixed for years going forward. I remember for years, the traditional first game of opening day was always the Cincinnati Reds, I believe. And I didn't care. Like as a kid, I would watch that game because it was baseball and I was ready for baseball to be back. And I just think it's rather unfortunate that here we are. It's opening day. It's 11 o'clock. There's nothing. There's just nothing going on right now. And yeah, I mean, there's hype. You can do pregame shows. You can talk about all these things. But I just think ultimately, if I could have my way as a fan, that there would be games as a baseball fan, right? Not as a fan of a particular team, though, of course, I would love to be able to watch the Mets play right now. But as just a baseball fan, I wish there would be a way that we could have games that would be starting at 11 o'clock. I mean, Boston does it for their Patriots Day. They managed to do a late morning game. I figure on one day a year, you can do it. And then I saw something else crazy with the schedule. There's teams that don't even play on Sunday on the first weekend of opening weekend. And so I just don't quite understand. I know there's a strategy behind all this, and I know that they're trying to base it on the analytics and stuff like that. But I think that there has to be something that goes much broader to fan appeal here, where you could just start games at 11, 11:30, 12, 12:30, whatever, however, I don't know how often you have to space them apart, even once an hour, right? 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 Eastern, just straight across the board. And you could have teams playing at a bunch of different times. So basically, no matter what, you could just be running a baseball marathon all day. And the NCAA tournament has figured this out for their opening rounds of college basketball. The reason it works is because it's just for 2 days, right? It's just for that Thursday and that Friday. And baseball could absolutely hype this up, make it a big thing, do some contests, do some giveaways during the games where it's like, hey, if you're watching right now, type in this code for a chance to win tickets or whatever. Just hype this whole thing up from the whole day, because I really feel like it's the idea of the picture of, like, if you wake up Christmas morning and maybe you've had one of those Christmases where it's like, we're not going to open any presents till like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Like, today is Christmas. Like, let's get to the good stuff as quick as possible. Let's get out there. And I mean, I know they're not in vogue, but man, if I could have my way, I'd be having double headers today. I'd be having games starting at 11 o'clock in the morning. I would have, just big fan parties. I'd have watch parties. I would be paying for promo with like sports bars to have everything packed out. I just feel like this is just such a missed opportunity here by not having games start till 3 in the afternoon. And again, you can tell me, maybe I'm completely wrong on this one. Again, maybe I'm just the old fan who yells at the cloud. That's what this series is all about. These are just kind of the ways that I look at baseball from just more of that traditional fan's perspective. But I love day baseball on weekdays because, one, I'm fortunately in a job where I get to enjoy day baseball on weekdays. And so anytime that there's no baseball on, it's like, oh, I wish there'd be baseball on. But then especially on opening day, I think that the sport would do better. I think you could just type this up as such a big thing where you could just have, again, once an hour, every half an hour, you could have another game starting. You could feature all the national anthems, all the kind of special opening ceremonies, all the first pitches, like all the regalia. But because it's all going to happen at once, it's going to kind of take away from, I think, what it could be. So, Invo, hello from the United States, Savage Batman. Yep, you and your Yankee hate. Well, if you guys haven't seen, I put out my picks for the year. By the way, everybody, my name is Craig. Welcome to MetropoliFins. We're YouTube's smallest New York Mets, Miami Dolphins channel. So I'm just going on my little baseball rant. I've got to actually pick up a catering delivery, but I had a few minutes here. But if you haven't yet seen, I put out all my predictions for the season. Some of them are in line with what lots of people are thinking, and a couple of them are a little bit out there. But if you're going to throw out a prediction, don't just be like everybody else. You got to at least put some sort of twist on it. And that's what I did. I'm not really great at predictions, but for the Super Bowl, I did almost get the score correct for the Super Bowl. So that was pretty good. So sometimes predictions will age well. And look, if they're really bad, I'm already admitting to you that they're really bad. So yeah, so I would love to do a ride along, Savage, and talk baseball, and maybe we will this afternoon, but there's just no games going on, which is the whole point of my rant. I don't understand why MLB isn't starting games until 3 o'clock on opening day. It just seems ludicrous to me. If that's the issue, and you're worried about it, then don't start opening day on a Thursday. Like, if you want day baseball and you need to do that, then start it with a Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Do it like a 3-day opening series or something. I have no idea. But yeah, I mean, we'll do it. My problem is I've got schedule conflicts tonight. We'll probably go live after my son's baseball game tonight. And so, like, I'm here. I want to talk baseball. So maybe after this catering order, we'll just do a live, just a massive pregame baseball party and just hang out and talk in the season and talking predictions and everything like that. But unfortunately, there just won't be actual live baseball to talk about until 3 p.m. And I just think that's a misstep by baseball. I think you should have, even if you don't want to spread the whole thing out, you should have a game starting at noon or 1. There's no reason not to have at least one game. There's got to be one game on the East Coast that you could start at noon or 1 p.m. on opening day to do that. So anyway, you guys can let me know if I'm completely wrong. If you like this take and you like this channel, want to support this channel, hit that like, hit that subscribe. I got to go do this catering delivery, and then maybe we'll come on later with opening day pregame show or something like that. So I like the idea, Savage. All right, sounds good. I will talk to you all later. See ya.